it is totally empty up on this balcony, so like I'm just chilling. Alright, so I am currently at breakfast and I thought it would be a good time to reflect over yesterday's events before all the silly stuff of the night. So, yesterday morning I got to meet the German kid that I had, that we'd met on the like St. Olaf Facebook page and stuff. So I met with him and got to speak German with a native speaker for the first time in a hot second. It was really cool. Wanted to know a lot about well, everything America, like what I felt about our government system, all that fun stuff. And so we ended up spending most of our day walking around and to the different information sessions and stuff. We went to this huge presentation with the whole freshman class on how courses and requirements and stuff work. So something that I'm kind of like bugged out by is you're only allowed to take 4.5 credits of courses, and they do it differently. So like if it were in credit hours, like 3 credit hours per course, that's 12 if you take 4, which is what they recommend, and they stop you at 4.5, so that'd be like 13, 14 credit hours. When I don't know how people double major if you're like cut off at like 12, 14. It's weird. So I've been really confused about that, and I can't get around it, so I need to just probably accept it and not get frustrated over it. So in the afternoon, we had these 2 time slots where you were to go to a computer lab, and you were supposed to just make 4 optional schedules. See, look at this. You're given a sheet with time slots on it, and you're supposed to like go on the course catalog and make 4 optional courses, because when you register you might not get the one you want, and so you gotta have one ready or whatever. And so we were all like sitting there not really knowing what to really like totally do, and so we're just sitting there like, and the people at the front were like, by the time you leave this place, you need to have 4 schedules made. And I'm like, what the heck? So I got 1 done, and was like, this is stupid. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm talking to my advisor tomorrow. Why didn't we talk to I don't know. It's whatever. And so I went, and then we had this like study one. The study one was just about like this help center they have. And then at the end of it, they were like, all right, so we have like a survey thing for you made by Stanford University. It'll take like 30 minutes. And everybody's like, what? We get on it, and it asks us questions that we can't even answer right now because like we haven't met our professors, we haven't gone to classes, we don't like know if it was like, do you think the professors, like I feel like the professors care about the students. The professors ask questions to see which student is smarter than others. Like, it's like, what kind of silly. And then it's just a whole like educational lesson about growth mindset. Like, I got to the first slide and it was asking questions about, do you believe that you are born with basic intelligence and that you are where you are and you can't get better? And I was like, this is literally growth mindset. I spent like a semester learning about this in my pre-calc class. Like, I was talking with my roommates afterward and they were like, this is really dumb. And I said, yeah, like, even for the people who don't know, like, they could have just sent out that like 5-minute Khan Academy video about growth mindset, and so people like that's all that was needed, not some stupid half-hour survey. Like, what a waste of time. And it was at like 7:30 at night. Like, what? Why are you keeping us here at 7:30 to take a 30-minute survey about something we already know? Dumb. The fun part of yesterday, the most amazing thing, was I got signed up for my first official private voice lessons. I may or may not have cried. If if you are on Snapchat, I apologize for having you see that. It's kind of embarrassing, but not, because like this is something that I've been wanting my entire life, and I finally can do it, and I'm so happy. Like, and so I went in the office, and then the lady like had me sit down, because I'd filled out a paper before, and they emailed me to come back because they needed to talk to me. And so I sit down in the office, and the lady, she pulls out a piece of paper. She's like, I'm gonna take some notes. I'm like, oh, okay. She full on like gives me like the interview for the music major in that office right there with no notice. And so she's like, so why do you want to be a music major? And I was like, I don't know. I tried to gauge her reaction, but she was literally like, I don't know. I couldn't read her. Because there's so many really talented people here, so she definitely wasn't like impressed. But I just really want this. But I got lessons. And so that night they had a movie screening for Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I went, of course, and I went with my pal Emily from across the hall, and we went there, and we went to the front, and there was nobody. Like, there were like 4 people sitting, like, and everybody else had chairs, and so we went into the front and just sat on the ground. She had a huge bag of like mini candies, like Three Musketeers and Milky Way, like Midnight or whatever it's called, and we literally just laid on the ground, and like there was a screen on the stage. Oh, it was so good. But something that really like I was like, whoa, was because you know Ferris Bueller has like the credit scene where the principal is like walking, and then the bus comes up, and he gets on the bus, walks to the back, sits down, and she's like, gummy bear, and then he throws it, and then people left, and then after that scene ended, like there were only 10 people left for the one, like the post credit scene, like the post credit scene, where he's like, what are you still doing here? It's over. Go home. Go. Like that thing. Nobody like, does nobody know John Hughes anymore? Like, does nobody care? It was really weird. But we left there, and as you saw, it was like heat lightning and whatever. Like, it was lightning, but it wasn't like making noise. And then we started getting closer to our dorm hall, and then it was there was one bolt of lightning. It was really bright, and we were like, and then it was like, and then so this like I was like running away, and I was like, I don't like this anymore. I was freaking out. It was so funny. But we got to the dorm, and then it like the thunder like wasn't like, it was really faint, so it was really far away, and we have the water tower right by our dorm hall. People were like taking pictures and videos, and so I was like, oh, it looks pretty cool, so I took one. And then it started like dripping, and then it started like spitting, and then it started pouring, and so a bunch of people went inside, but it was me, Emily, or like this girl Oriana, and then a couple guys. And we were just standing out there in the rain, like just laughing around. It was great. It was such a fun time. Alright, so registration was pretty crazy ridiculous. I had a super early time, 12:36, so it's only a half an hour after it started, but like the amount of people that still were ahead of me was ridiculous, and classes filled up so fast. Like a lot of people still got the classes they wanted, but like, golly, it was crazy. So I got into Russian 1, Calc 1, and then my first year writing course, and then the modern dance for my PE credit. But the music theory, the music 112, was already overfilled by all the music majors, so I was like, what do I take instead? But so I went to the music department head, Dr. Feld, and talked with her, and she like gave me so much information. It was so awesome and so helpful. And so I talked about how I wasn't sure whether I would maybe double major with music education and performance, or if I should choose which one. And so she explained how if I wanted to do both, then I would have to end up doing a 9th semester or a whole 5th year. And I was like, And so she was explaining the differences between the two, and how, like, if I wanted to be like the next Dr. Anton Armstrong, that I wouldn't necessarily need a music education degree, because he did have a vocal performance at first, but in order for me to get into the conducting classes at St. Olaf, I would have to be a music education major. And that's really, like, as soon as she said that, I was like, well, I'm a music education major once I get in. So I officially signed up for my slot for my voice lessons too, so I am officially on my track to prepare for juries at the end of semester, and then, so God allow it, get into the the music program. And then, yeah, we'll see from there. I'm excited to get started on my classes, because they all look so awesome, except for my writing class. Yeah, I don't like research papers, so I'm not that excited. But in terms of, like, emotional stuff, like, I have met a ton of people, and they're super nice, but, like, finding, like, I don't know if it's just, like, me in my own head, but I still feel really, like, out of place. Like, I've met a ton of really nice people, but I feel like I haven't met someone who, like, genuinely wants to spend time with me. And I know I just been here a few days, like, of course I don't know, because I met a ton of great people that I really, really, really like. I just don't know if they, like, genuinely like me yet, you know? I don't know. I know I am a lot. I am a lot to take in. But I just really hope that I can feel like I truly belong here soon. Yeah. St. Olaf, day 4. Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry. For even though I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each time you hear a sad guitar, know that I'm with you, the only way that I can be, until you're in